welcome to a brand new week here on the WION Sports Broadband Edition with me, Digvijay Singhdeo. My guest today is one of the youngest stars of Indian sport, but that hasn't stopped her from conquering the world. She's currently world number 2 in women's air pistol shooting. Manu Bhaker joins me from Charkhi Dadri in Haryana. Manu, how have you been through this entire lockdown period? And have you been missing the hustle and bustle of Delhi through this period, or are you very happy and content in your family house?
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for having me. And I think I'm enjoying the lockdown here only. I miss the hustle in the shooting range though, but not Delhi. So I'm just happy and content here.
Okay, but how has it been being back home? How has the lockdown routine been? Have you been, been reading? You're in college now, so studies happening a lot more than shooting, because usually this would have been the preparing for the Olympics. Now the Olympics have been postponed. So back to studies?
Yes, I study a lot actually, and I love to study. So, and apart from that, I'm carrying on with my practice as well. So it's not like I'm practicing lesser. So it's like I'm practicing equally as I'm studying.
Okay, but I was told that initially it was a bit of a problem for you because you didn't have a fully functional range. But in the last, 15, 20 days, you've got that electronic target and training is back on. So how was that period transitioning from paper targets to electronic targets?
It was a relief actually. I was waiting for a very long time to get an electronic machine because, lockdown after lockdown, I couldn't be like practice on the electronics. I had no access to the electronic ones. So I was just waiting for a very long time. And then I was just informed that my lane would be arriving soon. So I was just very happy, and I'm glad and thankful.
But what is the difference, Manu, for those of our viewers who may not be able to sort of understand, what is the difference between a paper target and an electronic target? Because the shooter is the same. The 10 you have to hit is still the same.
It's like I'm more comfortable with electronic. So manual is also very accurate, obviously, because we can see where we have shot. But for me, I'm more comfortable with electronics, with every exercise they have.
Okay, but just tell me, at the moment when you're shooting, is it to sort of maintain your edge, or is it just to stay in shape during this entire period, just to keep your skills sharp? Are you training like you would have trained for the Olympic Games, or no? Right now it's just about, you have a range at home, let me just shoot, so that the feel of shooting remains.
I think I'm shooting right now to overcome some of the issues that I've been facing lately. And apart from that, yes, I'm just trying very hard to just keep and maintain my performances as I used to train. I'm just trying to train as much as I used to do before.
Okay,
So
but
it's just I'm just coping with it, and I hope that I'll just carry on with my performances in the future as well.
Yeah, I'm rather surprised to hear that, because over the last 2 years, there's not much you haven't won. You won pretty much quite a lot, including at the end of 2019, you won the World Cup final as well. So what are the issues you think you have been working on? And has this break given you that opportunity to work on these mistakes?
Yes, I think. And the major thing is that I haven't been at home for so long lately. Like for 3 years, I couldn't stay at my home for this long. And apart from that, I'm just working on the balancing and some more technical stuff, like you can say as the um, stability, the follow through, the technique with the trigger. So just to make it smooth, and so I'm just working for that.
Okay, but the thing with the lockdown is there's no interaction. So have you been managing to stay in touch with your coaches? Jaspal, who's the national junior coach who you train a lot with, he's in Dehradun. But when you're making all these changes, is somebody monitoring? What are the changes? Are you being told that this is how you should make those changes?
It's just that whenever I require something, I just ask for it. To sir as well, I am like connected whenever I'm required, like with some stuff. So it's not like we are not connected daily, but whenever I'm in some requirement, I just ask him or ask somebody who can just help me and is appropriate person. So I am in connect with him, but not like on a regular basis.
Okay, but considering your age, considering your dream start to your international career, everything was sort of heading up to success at the Olympic Games, and then the Olympics got postponed. So, how have you come to grips with that decision to postpone the Olympic Games? Do you feel that it was a great chance for you to win the gold medal for India?
This is a tricky question though, but it's it can't be determined obviously because everybody was in a good form, and it's not like that we cannot continue with it, but we'll be doing this good in the future as well. But it was like that we were mentally prepared as well. It's okay because I kind of felt some like disappointment, but then it was fine because obviously health over anything.
So how do you now refocus, Manu? How do you refocus with the Olympics now 14 months away? What are the things you can do, you think, or you can't do right now with this break? Earlier, what happened was the Olympics was coming closer. You know, when you entered 2020, it was like 6 months, 7 months away, and 6 months, 5 months, and all that. Right now, the period has got extended. So will it gives you more chance to expand your sort of shooting knowledge and work on that? Or do you think that right now these 14 months will just fly away because you just need to concentrate on what was working? Don't change anything at all.
I'll go with the flow, and I don't really think to change something with my technique or with my anything like equipments or anything. So I was just excited about the competitions that we had, like Munich World Cup, Delhi World Cup, and then the test event in Changwon, and then in the Olympic range. So I was very excited for it. But then it sort of happened that Corona. But now I think I won't do any changes with anything. I'll just go with the flow.
Okay, the thing I've noticed about you, in fact, if I remember 2018 in Mexico when you won that gold medal in Guadalajara, I did an interview with you then. It was, I think, your first interview. And I've seen you since then. And I've seen that you love competition, you love competing, and you love winning. Right now, with your shooting calendar completely stopped right now, how do you compensate for that? What keeps you going now?
I'm not craving. I'm not like craving for that. I'm not training very heavy for that. I'm just trying to maintain my form. So it's not like I used to train for like 8 to 10 hours before this lockdown when I was training at the Kani Singh. But now it's like I'm training from 4 hours around. It's like on an average 4 hours. So I've reduced the times and so so that my muscle gets recovered and everything is in place when we get the new calendar and when we get the opportunity to shoot in a match.
Okay, but you were talking about how you used to train 7 to 8 hours or even more. But this period now, without that rush of shooting, is it frustrating for someone like you, especially at a young age that you are? You're always willing to go. You're always willing to push yourself to the extra
I'm
limit.
just
Those who are older will probably sort of take a pause and say, "Oh, I love this break. Let me recharge my batteries." For you young guns, it's all about more action, more action. So has it been frustrating?
I just really I just want this period to get over as soon as possible because it's not really comfortable for me. I'm just waiting for the camps, national camps, and all the stuff that we used to have before this lockdown. uh, I'm just waiting eagerly that this gets over as soon as possible.
Yes, you didn't answer my
So it
question,
is.
but you actually did by saying that you are frustrated sitting at home. It's pretty obvious. But tell me, Manu, you have been shooting these online competitions. Is it, does it help in fact at all? Or because see, one of the main things about competition is you're shooting with 8 others, say in a final, you know there's a pressure, you have one bad shot, you know the scores, you know everything. When you're shooting these online competitions, is it just to stay in shape and actually doesn't help much?
It helps, actually it helps, but I'm not really able to, shoot in every online competition because of my, I have practicals going on in my college, and exams also we have. So I'm just preparing for that, and because of that, I'm not really able to. Recently, there was a match. I think yesterday it was, uh, and I think it does help. Um, you can say out of on 10, it's like 7. I'd rate it 7 on 10, because almost everything is in the same. It's like the same thing that we face. The pressure is almost the same. The pressure to score is almost the same. The pressure to win the finals is almost the same. But somewhere in the back of our mind, we always have that, like most of the people always have, that this score is not for the ranking purpose. This score is not for the medal purpose or anything like that. So this is the difference that I think does matter.
Okay, and I can't argue with that. You are the champion. I am not. I can only ask the questions. But a lot of your fellow Olympic quota winners, Manu, were like you, pretty young. Have you been in touch with them? What are they up to?
Not really. I couldn't like be. Nobody talks much in shooting, as you know, and I'm just focusing on the studies right now and shooting only. So I'm not in touch with anybody, like serious touch. So it's like we wave at each other. Sometimes we just chat, have some like small conversations, but it's not like friendly conversations like that.
Okay, but
It's
one,
just
one
hello and
event which
hi,
need to be
but
perhaps
nothing.
friendly is your mixed event where you dominated the world calendar last year. You won everything, 3 of those with Saurabh Chaudhary. Now, the thing with the mixed event, Manu, is, and I want to understand your thought process. The thing with the mixed is that even though shooting is an individual sport, the mixed is a team event, but it's two people shooting separately. So how do you sort of work on team bonding or team dynamics, and how do you form a successful pairing like you've done with Saurabh?
It's not like it works between me or anybody. It's just that I have some faith that he'll be doing good, or it's just that I have to deliver my best. And mostly, I just think about myself. So I consider it a individual match. It's like it's an individual match. I have to deliver my best, and so that goes every time.
But were you surprised by the level of domination you all had last year across all the World Cups?
In Delhi World Cup, we made a world record. Then in Asian Championship also, we made a world record. Then in Munich World Cup also, it was a world record. China also, it was a very good shot. Then finally in the Rio, it was like we were lagging behind, but then we covered up so like brilliantly. And I was really happy when I got to know that we have won all the 4 ISSF World Cup titles for mixed team. So it was like I was so happy. I can't even explain it in words. So
Yeah,
it
but
it, it
that was
gives
domination of a kind
goosebumps.
perhaps never seen before in shooting for one person to win all the events. But the thing with Saurabh and you is you're sort of, even though you said shooters don't talk much, you're much more of an extrovert than he is. You hardly get a few sentences out of Saurabh Chaudhary. So how do you both of you communicate as a pair?
We don't communicate at all. So it's like not even hello and hi sometimes. It's like we hardly even say hello and hi to each other. But it's like that, you know, mm, he is the way he is and I am the way I am. So it's not any differentiation or comparison. Uh, I am the way I am because I was, brought up like this. So it depends on person to person how he or she reacts. to anything.
Yeah, this is getting somewhere. I'm surprised. One of the most successful teams don't talk much. I mean, that's not exactly the concept of a team doing well, but I think that's the beauty of shooting, right? That effectively it's an individual sport, even though you've got two people together. But nothing, no talk, nothing. Even when you win, what do you tell each other when you win all those gold medals?
I really like to be honest, we really don't talk even after we win something or not. So even if we made a world record, we don't really talk, or we don't even look at each other sometimes. So it's like he's in his game and I am in my form and my game. So it's like we are not really connected.
And what do the coaches
We
do?
treat it
Because what do the
we
coaches
treat
do?
it
How do you coaches get both of
coaches
you to
are
interact?
like always happy. So
No,
it's
but
like
how do they get both of you to interact? If you don't talk so much, how do they get both of you to interact and understand what's happening?
they just come to us, and then they're just whatever they want to tell us, they just tell us. So it's not like it's nothing like that. Something he has to tell me or something I have to tell him. We do that, but only whenever it's like very important.
But
So
the thing with
nothing
Saurabh
extra.
Manu is, does he talk to anyone in the shooting team?
I never saw him talk to anyone.
Hmm.
It's like I think he's an introvert kind of person. So I think he enjoys to be alone and be with himself.
Okay. But one remarkable thing about both Saurabh and you is how you've sort of achieved so much at such a young age and how both of you have handled it very differently. I've not seen you get carried away. Saurabh is still, as you said, an introvert, keeps to himself. You're still the same. You always have this lovely smile about you. And you always, I see you in all your public functions, you're always wearing your India colors, your India tracksuit. And it's nice to see that, you all haven't changed despite all this success at such a young age.
Because we love our country and we love our people.
That's true, but for
So
you
it's
personally,
nothing to change.
everywhere India colors. Even for any award function, I was seeing recently, everyone wearing all their best dresses. But Manu Bhaker was there in her India tracksuit.
Most of the time I prefer wearing India only. But when I have like a lot of time, I have to, like 2-3 days I have when I have nothing to do, then I probably go for a dress or something. So it's like mostly I prefer wearing India only.
Okay, but just talking about the Olympics, because at some point of time, the focus is going to get there. There is talk in the NRA that somehow get camps to start. Will you be thinking of moving to a national camp soon, or you think it's still safer for you to stay at home and train the way you are training?
Definitely, I think it's safer to stay at home and train here, because the camps will be mostly, I think, the probability of the camp either in Delhi or in Bhopal. The cases they are like on peak. So I don't really prefer to go to Delhi or to Bhopal. I'm just happy here, and until and unless I'm just feeling that I'm safe here. So I'm just safe here. I'm just happy here.
But the question of safety is also relative, isn't it? Because there may be some who want to go. But what do you think is the right way? When do you think, considering that there is no shooting competition this year, when do you think you need to be at a national camp with everyone? What you've been missing, which you told me right at the beginning, is it say September, October, when you think you will feel comfortable when everything's died down, or it all depends on how the surrounding situation is around Delhi, around say Bhopal?
I think till the time when this corona thing gets over, until then I don't think anybody will feel comfortable to, in fact, even train with each other. We at least require that okay, he's safe, or I'm the person who I'm talking to is uh, not infected. So it's like that we need to take care of ourselves before the big thing that is coming up. and we need to be safe so that our family stays safe, so that the people we meet stay safe.
There,
The thing
there
is
is
that
talk,
this,
Manu. There is talk, Manu, of quarantine camps that all of you who sort of won Olympic quotas and the ones who just behind you probably put all of them together in a sanitized area, a sanitized shooting range with facilities to stay, so that there is no interaction with anyone apart from just all of you all. Do you think that's something you're comfortable with?
this is a good idea. This feels like a good idea, but still we'll have some workers that will be going inside and out, or not. Not the workers, like somebody will always be there, who will be just going in and then going out, and then going to the market and then coming in. So I think it's not really safe to go out, especially in Delhi and Bhopal. But if it's like sort of very quarantined, like very locked place, then it might be safe.
But at some point, do you think you will have to take a risk? At some point, if the situation doesn't improve, you will have to take a risk and head out into a camp where you will have more such shooters, because till a point it's okay being at home, but after a point the Olympics will start getting closer then, isn't it?
See, if the organizers or the federation will organize a camp, then I definitely prefer the only the Olympic quota holders to train, because it will be the less the people are, the less the infection gets. I think if they're organizing some camp, some sort of training camps, so I think the lesser the people will be, the lesser the chances of infection will be.
Okay, and it's fair enough to perhaps look at safety first. But do you think that the federation, the NRAI, should now just come out and stop this period of uncertainty and at least declare the Olympic team? Because there's a lot of debate on that. At least, I was talking to Sanjeev Rajput yesterday, who, like you, has won a quota. He's saying that the moment you declare the team, at least, you don't have to think of anything else. You can start simply about preparing mentally for the
Exactly.
games.
I totally agree with him, because we are just all waiting for the team. We are just waiting that if they'll announce the team, then at least we can just move on. We at least we would know that we are selected. We are the ones that will be representing a country, and we now need to work more harder. Then we will be mentally prepared that yes, the team is final. We need to prepare, and we need to look into the stuff. So at least announcing the team will be a big relief.
Yes,
And after
I
that,
hope they
maybe
listen to you. I hope they listen to you. I hope they listen to your other fellow athletes as well, because as you said, this uncertainty can sort of be unnerving, especially since there's no competition around. Manu Bhaker, thank you so much for joining us. Keep up the shooting, and more importantly, keep up with the studies. I think right now you've got an opportunity to focus more on the studies than the shooting, and hopefully when time is better, all of you can get back to shooting and sort of get back to your Olympic dream.
yes. Thank you so much.
Take care, all of you, and stay safe.
Take care. Bye bye.